Hey guys, Vaul here, and Fonger with me. We're on Game 3 of Group F, the winners match. Just going to start the game now, starting in 5. And we've reached the final game on Zodiac. Brat and nonY have both won a game each in this winners matchup in Group F, so we're now facing off for the final game. The winner of this will actually go through to the round of 16, the full-on TSL, and they'll both win $100, I think it is, as a prize just for qualifying for the TSL. So effectively, we are still in the qualifiers stage. I mean, this is the group stage. It's very similar to what happens in the OSL and the MSL, except in the OSL and MSL, the group stage, each player sort of has a single game, and then the winners match is a single game and so on. But in the TSL, there are best of threes, so there's a lot more games played. Anyway, let's go to the game. We've got Brat spawning at the 12 o'clock position in blue. He's the Terran player. And we've got nonY as the Protoss in white at the bottom of the map on Zodiac. And already nonY moving out to get his first pylon down. Alright, so very interesting that the last two games we saw pretty much exactly the same builds from each player, and for longness, Brat's style seemed to come out on top, but when we got to Bluestorm, nonY's build worked out better and his timing was fine. Just to fill in people what happened, Brat went for a fast expansion with 6 Marines and a single tank and a Vulture with mines upgraded first, with a couple of SVs to help him push across the map, and that worked really well, putting some pressure on nonY. nonY goes for a single gate with a fast expansion and following that with a very late Reaver tech, and then going for carriers, just to 2-gate carriers from 2 gas initially. The first game he failed to get a 3rd gas, but the second game he did get a 3rd gas, and his timing with his forces was just perfect, and he managed to take it out. So Fonger, just with that in mind, do you think we'll be seeing any build variants from these players on this map, or are we just going to be seeing deja vu yet again?
Well, from my perspective, I think that that nonY can very well go for exactly the same build again, especially since there's cross positions on this map, and because of the islands. Because the fact that if he was to go for this build again, he'd be going for a shuttle and Reaver. He could possibly drop off a probe on an island and secure that 3rd gas quite quickly, and just forego the mineral only altogether, and just go straight for carriers. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, I think Brat probably has analysed that, and given that he's thinking, what is nonY going to do, if he's clever, he will realise that, and he'll do a bit of scouting, and will possibly see, or will check for the island expansions, and then perhaps adjust his play accordingly. I really would like to see a different style from Brat for this particular game, just to try and counter nonY, and because nonY does look like he's indeed doing the same build yet again. I look at his base, he's not actually putting down a second gateway. He's got 2 probes going out, one's probably going to be getting ready on a probe's actually blocking his door, so he wants to actually trick Brat into thinking that he might be doing something else, where in fact he's doing the same thing again. That SCV's not making his way in. Good micro bit there by nonY, actually just keeping the SCV from entering his base. And meanwhile, Brat is actually sticking to a strat. And the other thing too is that this is cross map, so Brat is actually going to have a little bit of difficulty heading across with that sort of little group, that sort of FT Terran kind of group. And yeah, same build from nonY, exactly the same thing. So we'll just be watching towards the middle game and seeing whether he does in fact take that that island expansion, and we'll also watch to see whether Brat does anything about it. Brat looks like he's getting ready to float down the command center instead of actually pushing out this time, and I think that's because of the map locations.
Yeah, and also possibly because he couldn't get up nonY's ramp initially. Perhaps he was expecting some kind of... maybe he was expecting a quick Reaver. Oh, there we go. nonY's gone for a Robo Bay before his natural this time around.
Yes, indeed he has. So nonY going for a quicker Reaver. And I've got to say that Brat, if I was Brat, I would be a little bit wary of something like that, because nonY has obviously blocked any scouting, so nonY doesn't want to be discovered. And indeed an engineering bay going down right now, so Brat is going to want to be prepared for this. nonY hasn't actually ventured inside of Brat's space yet, so doesn't quite know whether Brat's about to push out and grab the expansion, or if he's already going for the expansion. Yeah, so Brat's expansion is definitely going to be up quicker, because he's going to have that command center, and even with the delayed fact that he's floating it down, nothing's going to happen. And Brat had a secret SCV behind nonY's minerals, but the Dragoons have dealt with that now. And here's the robotic support bay.
Because Brad has actually now seen that Noni has very few goons, and also that he doesn't have a natural expansion, so I guess that just confirms what he would have suspected already from being able to get up the ramp using probes. So yeah, we go. eBay turret's going down.
Yeah, with the placement of that particular turret, it's at the top of the ramp, and I think Brett at this point doesn't want to count out the fact that Noni, might have just gone for a simple DT rush. So that turret is in a position where you would usually sort of protect yourself from DTs. But it's not a bad place to have against a Reaver harass either, so long as you obviously get another 2 turrets, one at the left-hand side of your natural. In fact, he is getting a turret down there. And you'd want to have another turret at your main as well. I find a good place to have a turret against Reaver harass is just at that little spot to the left of your natural expansion at this location at the top at the 12 o'clock. Because that's where the Reavers show up, but of course it's really not very useful against DTs in that case, but we know that Noni's not going for DTs. He's putting his Nexus down now, and shortly we'll have a shuttle ready. So Reaver's just being picked up right now.
Yeah, this game is basically going to be, well, the early part of it is going to be all decided on how much damage Noni can do with his Reaver. He could basically lose all initiative outright if he fails to do enough damage. Oh, he's got a probe on his island now.
Indeed, he has. So, indeed, good spotting. And like we talked about, Brat's actually got an ominous-looking barracks nearby. So, do you think Brat might actually float that barracks just a little bit further to the south and see what Noni's doing, and maybe counter with maybe a dropship attack of his own? That remains to be seen. But let's just talk about this Reaver harass coming in. Oh my God, Reaver actually taking a hit there. Reaver could be taking another hit. Careful. Whoa. Good micromanagement by Noni, but he's almost lost his shuttle. Oh, he's lost his shuttle now. He's lost his Reaver. So, oh, poor Noni. He's actually lost his force. So he killed a Marine, but that was it. He didn't actually kill any SCVs, and it's going to be a long time before he can get in with another attack. Brett, I'm just wondering whether Brat's going to move that barracks in, because I can't think of any other reason for that barracks to be there other than to eventually scout what's going on. Brat's actually going to 4 factories now, and he's got his second base up. Noni's only just putting down two more gateways, so Brat is ahead economically here, and we could be seeing him get an early lead in this game, just given what's happened. Was it just me, or did that barracks move slightly closer? Take a look at the barracks, Fong.
Oh, yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
Is that enough? Is that enough?
No. Oh, hang on, I'm just going to switch vision and find out.
Yeah, if we just take away,
you can see it, can you? No.
If I just take, it's moving.
Yeah.
If you get rid of shared vision on every player except for Brat, you can see that his barracks can scout their Nexus, and the Nexus probably can't see Brat's barracks either. So I'm just going to check that actually. I'm going to share vision with only Noni. Yeah, that's actually quite clever. If you just unshare vision for everybody except Noni, he can't see that barracks, so Brat can see him, but yeah, not the other way around. And indeed, we've got a shuttle load of probes coming in to back this up. Let's see whether Brat decides to do anything about it, though. He's got a starport building at his natural expansion, so a very, very clever play by Brat. I actually I'm quite impressed by what he's doing here. He's got this, it's got the starport going up with a control tower going down. He's going to be able to build a dropship and probably just land some vultures in there, and 4 vultures will easily be able to take out that whole group of probes, so that's going to be disastrous for Noni. And yeah, Brat's easily going to be able to solidify his leads. Yeah, really got to try that on this map. Got to move the barracks around and just float it in that exact location, and that's a real bonus.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think right now the situation with Noni having gone 1 gate and 3 bases initially, and losing his Reaver with very little damage done, has basically put Brat in a position where he could push out and camp outside Noni's natural and simultaneously drop his 3rd base. I'm interested to see if he goes to that, or if he just goes a sort of a safer way and drops the 3rd base just by itself. Of course, Brat doesn't know that Noni went 1 gate, 3 base. He just knows that there's a 3 base up there. Sorry, a 3rd base up there. But yeah.
Dropship moving out with a full load of vultures, so that's 4 vultures which headed directly, and in fact he's doing exactly what you predicted, Fong. He's moving out into the middle of the tank map with tanks, and he's already gone ahead of himself and mined out this area in front of Noni's natural, although Noni can see this with his observer, and in fact Brat using this cover, this distraction, to get his own third base. So here come the vultures now. Pylon going down at the island expansion, but it's too late. These vultures are just going to have a field day with these probes. Oh my god, this is absolute slaughter. The probes trying to launch a counterattack on the vultures, but probes versus vultures is not a good match. And in fact, oh my god, this looks very bad for Noni, because Brat is actually just sieging up in the middle of the map. He's going to get complete control of this, and Brat does not have enough zealots to go out and just directly push him. Noni has actually dropped off some zealots into his island expansion, but he's lost all but 2 probes